Hello and welcome to Brands Hatch for the opening round of the MCE British Superbikes Extra. And what a year we have in store. Forget about the ice age that we've been going through, because the racing in this show is going to be red hot. Now we're going to kick things off with the Ducati TriOptions 848 Challenge. Last year's champ, Robbie Brown, may have moved on, but there is a grid stuffed full of riders all desperate to take his place. Taking you through it, Jack Bernacle.
The starting grid for the second race in the Ducati TriOptions 848 Challenge here at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. And Jonathan Railton on pole position ahead of Marty Nutt and Spike Edwards, with Dean Brown rounding out the front row. Second row, Darren Fry ahead of Dan Fowler, Ben Field and Byron Beckett. The third row features Leon Morris, Ed Smith, Sam Neary and Jack Keane. And the fourth row, Alex Simon, Ricky Holden, Dan Pearce and Stuart Poyser. The 200,013 Ducati TriOptions 848 Challenge is about to head off, and on pole position will be the man who won yesterday's race, Jonathan Railton. Jonathan Railton making his debut. He only got onto a Ducati in the dry for the first time in Friday practice, and he was already looking very impressive in Saturday's race, getting the better of the experienced Irishman Marty Nutt partway through the race to take victory. We're on the first lap of 15 with Jonathan Railton grabbing the advantage from Spike Edwards in second place, Darren Fry in third, and the tiny Birmingham man Ben Field in fourth place, ahead of Leon Morris, former champion, of course, back in 2011. And we've lost the reigning champion from 2012. Robbie Brown has gone off to race in Superstock 1000s. And alongside me, I've got Ducati's very own ambassador, the 2003 World Superbike champion Neil Hodgson. At the front, Railton leads it, Edwards in second place, Fry hadn't got a good start, is third, ahead of Field and Morris, with Ed Smith in sixth place. 15 frantic laps around here. Do you work with these guys, Neil? Do you give them pungent advice?
Well, I try my best, to be honest. I've got a strange title. I'm the ambassador of the 848 Challenge, which I'm still unsure what that means. But yeah, I'm on hand at all the 848 rounds, and I try and help them out. And you know, some riders like to use me, some riders don't. It's funny, really. I always offer my services to say I can help with lines or gears for the corners, because obviously I ride these 848s a lot. I do a lot of testing with them, and I mean, it's a wonderful bike, and I'd say it's quite an easy bike to ride. It's got the power range, the torque of the bike. It's certainly a pleasure.
Well, at the moment, it's a pleasure for Jonathan Railton, because he's taken off at the front. Marty Nutt's made a really glum start and is right down in seventh place, having led the first half of yesterday's race, behind the veteran Spike Edwards, number 121. There's number 14, Ben Field, toying with number 2, Leon Morris, the former champion. Ed Smith, Marty Nutt are also there. The new lap record has been set by Jonathan Railton, who's doubling up very impressively in the Superstock 1000 Championship as well, and has qualified in fourth place for that race later in the day. So that is a really impressive performance. Very different bike.
Really different bike. It's not easy to do what Jonathan Railton's doing. Yeah, he's doing the Superstock Championship on a Kawasaki, where you said he has actually qualified on the front row, but to jump off a four-cylinder Kawasaki to get on the old twin of the Ducati, it's so different. But what I love to see, and it's funny, confidence with a rider is everything. And here we have young Jonathan Railton. He won the race yesterday on the 848, his first ever race on the thing, and look at him go. I mean, there's only one person been able to go with him, and that's Mike Edwards, and the experience of Mike's thought, there's no way I'm going to let him go. But the rest of them, I mean, they literally can't hold that pace. I mean, the fact that he's just brought the lap record. And no, actually, Edwards is just
48.289. So he's cracking on in pursuit. The hard man, originally from Liverpool, now of course resident in Harrogate in North Yorkshire. So Jonathan Railton leads it on bike number 40. The Huntington man on the Bost Plumbing Art of Racing Ducati 848. Second place then for Spike Edwards, 121 on the Oldens at P&H Motorcycles bike. And then this battle going on for the placings behind, with Darren Fry in third place. Marty Nutt has pushed through into fourth place on bike number 77, with Leon Morris squeezed back to fifth.
And I know Leon Morris, he was the 2011 848 champion. He went to Superstocks last year. To be honest, unfortunately, he's had a tough old season, really, and it's really good to see him back in the championship. He's a great rider, but I was speaking to him yesterday, it's just taken him a bit of getting used to riding the 848 again, having ridden the more powerful Panigale, the superbike last year, he said it's just hard to find his feet and find the limit again.
No problem there for Jonathan Railton, number 40. 6 laps of 15 in there. Spike Edwards in second place. Darren Fry, the 40-year-old Darren Fry, still running strongly there in third place, ahead of Marty Nutt, the 37-year-old Irishman from Castle Rock. And then Ben Field fifth, Leon Morris in sixth. Ed Smith is next up, ahead of Brown, Beckett and Fowler, rounding out that top 10.
And that's another lap record for Jonathan Railton. I mean, these lap times are incredible. I mean, I think that's half a second under the lap record. I mean, that is a real lap time round here. That's pretty much knocking on the door of the Super Sport 600 lap times, which, you know, these are pretty stock, these bikes. You know, it's very, very impressive times.
And is it their lap times round here are they helped by just the kind of gutsiness of the motor, the fact they've got good ground chewing torque to them?
Yeah, definitely. Because most of the corners, it's such a flowing track. Track is Brands Indy, and you end up where you're on the side of the tyre a lot, like these corners, long sweeping corners. You know, Paddock Hill, Druids. So the user-friendly power of the 848 definitely helps with the lap times.
Darren Fry, number 3 from Rugby in the Midlands on the JHP Ducati Coventry bike. Teammate now with Marty Nutt, who he's fighting with there on the bike. There's a little more red, white and blue, number 77, Marty Nutt, who has got backing for the first time in his 15-year career. He's always been nut.travel.com racing. They've always funded their own racing, and now having recovered, coming back from a huge injury. He had an awful crash at Paddock Hill Bend in this equivalent race last year, as we watched the two leaders going through halfway distance here. Darren Fry versus Marty Nutt. Marty locked it up when he got tangled with back markers coming right here into Paddock Hill Bend 12 months ago. Had a huge crash and broke a bone in his neck, 3 vertebrae high up his back, and broke his sternum. He said that was the most painful part of all, and it's been a long, hard road to recovery. And his little boy Harry, who turns 3 next week, said to him before he went out for his first practice session, try not to crash this time, Daddy.
There's nothing
Sound
like
advice.
You know, words of encouragement off your 2-year-old son. Try not to crash this time, Daddy. Incredible. Not wanting to sound like a scratch record, but Jonathan Railton's gone faster again. I mean, it's only by a few thousandths, but every lap, I mean, he's stretched the lead now to it's over 3 seconds. I mean, yeah, it's 3.8 seconds, and we've not really. He's doing a bit of what Robbie Brown was doing last year. Robbie Brown,
yeah,
the champion of last year, ran away with a few of the races in sort of equally impressive style. Very, very impressive.
So Jonathan Railton is in his WD-40 leathers. Those distinctive blue and yellow leathers are
retro.
They're actually the colour of his super stock team, and he's just kept them on for his for use later in the day. This is number 121, Spike Edwards, who's been spending his time. He's actually been working gritting roads and doing useful stuff like that in snow-hit Yorkshire during the course of the winter months.
Well, in Yorkshire, let's be honest, the roads are icy for at least 6 months of the year, so at least he's guaranteeing himself with a little bit of work. Obviously, I can say that being a Lancastrian.
Yes, quite.
The weather's
the gap.
I know. This is really bizarre. We rarely see this. It's good to see Darren Fry's got rid of his white leathers from last year, where he looked huge in them.
Yes,
he's not a big guy anyway, but we give him a little bit of a hard time, if I'm honest, about his weight. But he's gone for the stealth-looking black and orange leathers, and he looks much better, and he's riding really well at the moment.
And the two John Hackett Ducati Coventry boys are being joined now by number 14 Ben Field, and then we've got Morris, Smith, Brown in there as well. So there's some fair bit of infighting going on. Number 8 Ed Smith, who's running in 7th place, and behind him number 36 Dean Brown from Nuneaton on the BCM racing bike. And they've really closed up together now as we reach pretty much 2/3 race distance. Darren Fry then, who actually is, I've never heard the word cerament manufacturer. It means he makes coffin interiors, and he's about to lose 3rd place in this race as he drops down through Paddock Hill Bend. It's Marty Nutt who squeezes through. That's a brave move. I mean, do you not have any demons from what happened to you 12 months ago as you dropped into a turn like that?
Do you know what? It's funny you say that, because that's where Marty Nutt had the big crash last year into the first corner. No, you don't. I mean, you know, crashing's part of riding motorcycles. If you can't deal with crashing, you will not make a good motorcycle racer. And you know, someone as experienced as Marty Nutt, I mean, he's had a lot of crashes. Don't get me wrong, that was a particularly large crash, but no, you sort of there's a reason why you crashed. You work out the reason. I crashed because I collided with some back markers. So you put it in a box, you move it to the side, and you forget about it. You get on with your job. And as you saw the way that he came past Darren Fry into the first corner, it's not affecting him one bit, and equally as impressive as he always is.
He says he kind of realised he should think about stopping, but he said, I love doing it, and I've got a lot of friends over here, so he likes coming back. And of course, you know, his dad, his involvement in bike, completely immersed in it, because Billy Nutt, his dad, was clerk of the course at the Northwest 200 road races for like 30 years. You know?
Yeah, once it's in your blood, I mean, it's a drug. It's hard to get this sort of adrenaline. Where can you... Whoa! That's as close as Jonathan Railton's come for a long time.
That was number 50, Michael Simmons, on the West Country Windings bike, who got a bit wound up then. He got sat up.
This young Railton, he's on a mission. I mean, he's got a 5.1 second lead, and he's carving the back markers up. Like, wow.
He's actually done a little bit of racing in the Spanish CEV Formula Extreme Championship, you know, on a Kawasaki, and some racing that I've covered, in fact, and he looked quite good there. He actually crashed off when he was lying 5th at Jerez in one of the races.
I tell you, he looks immaculate on that Ducati. He's right. He's just riding it how you've got to ride a Ducati, and that's trust that front tyre, trust the front end, roll into the corners, looking round the outside. Does he not realise? Does he not realise he's got a 5-second lead? There's only 2 laps to go, I think.
That was number 69, Peter Hasler from Chertsey, on his teammate at Bost Plumbing Art of Racing then, who I thought the bikes looked remarkably similar, so he's lapped his teammate. Here's Spike Edwards still there in 2nd place.
His teammate just got an education on how to go around clearways, I think.
There's number 77, Marty Nutt, running in 3rd place. Darren Fry, number 3, in 4th. 5th place still Benfield, then Neil Morris, Ed Smith, Fowler, Brown and Keane. Brown's been squeezed back a place by number 34, Daniel Fowler, on the Fowler racing bike. Jonathan Railton with a lead at the moment of 4.8 seconds at the front. Set the fastest lap, the new lap record of 48.154 on lap 7. There is Benfield with that distinctive helmet, as well as looking distinctively tiny on the motorcycle. It's about Danny Pedrosa pint size.
Yeah, he's Pedrosa sort of size, but he's a lot stockier. He's quite a powerful little character.
Do you need to be strong to handle these bikes, or are they actually quite comfortable bikes to ride as we go into the final lap?
They're very agile, to be honest, so no, it's sort of strength's not so important. Weight is, you know, the lighter the better, definitely.
Dropping into Druids Hill Bend, there's number 77, Marty Nutt, looking very cool. A long career, of course, spent in British Super Sport racing on the nuttravel.com motorcycles, always privately funded, but in fact, of course, now for the first time getting some help from John Hackett and Ducati Coventry. And at the front, though, look at this. It's victory, a clean and easy victory. New lap record for Jonathan Railton from Huntingdon on the Bost Plumbing Art of Racing Ducati. 2nd place for number 121, the veteran Spike Edwards on the Oldlands at P&H Motorcycles Ducati. And 3rd place, number 77, Marty Nutt from Castle Rock on the Ducati Coventry JHP racing machine. So Jonathan Railton, second race win out of 2 this weekend here to kick off his Ducati Challenge in style.
The Speedway season is underway, and after a 1-2 in New Zealand, the Poles will be
Father on pole position on his Moto3 KTM ahead of Joe Francis, Jordan Weaving and Tom Kahn.